Good morning, everybody. I had done a video a little while ago, but my battery had gone out of freaking drained really fast. So I'm just continuing the video from earlier. I'm pretty sure I'll be on Leak Project tonight as well. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit that like button. Of course, you can find me at the mysticalspiralstore.com and summer 20 if you want 20% discount on all items. And yeah, very interesting topic that I was discussing this morning, and it's been many years of work. And what many don't realize about the 18th dynasty, if you guys haven't heard the video I was talking about this morning, very interesting because most people think of like Akhenaten and Tutankhamun and all of that happening, right? Well, it was really the work of Akhenaten's father that brought a transformation to that bloodline in a different way, I feel. And it was his dedication to Sekhmet. And Akhenaten's father was Amenhotep, or Amenophis III. Akhenaten originally was Amenhotep IV. And beautiful sunrise here a few minutes ago too. Really intense. And the Sekhmet name is derived right from the word Sekhem in ancient Egypt, which literally means having spiritual power, spiritual might. It's basically having the psychic forces to communicate with the solar and cosmic intelligences. That's what the Sekhem energy is. And the Sekhmet Goddess is basically an energy that has to do, an intelligence that has to do with bringing a transformation through communicating with the cosmos, through the solar intelligences. Literally, she is the mother of healing and also the mother of plagues, the mother of the mighty ones and heroes, and the mother of abominations. She's the one who is clothed in the red and rains down that red fire from the sky. She's the mother of comets and the mother of solar intelligences. She's the queen of the heavens. That's what she's described as. She's the one who has transformations within the cosmic womb and within the belly of humanity. She can bring annihilation to the planet or evolution and cosmic healing. She's the mother of comets, and she's the mother of communicating with the sun for them to rocket bacteria carrying DNA and cosmic transformation to our planet. And I have come to find that the dedication of Amenhotep III to Sekhmet is what brought the transformation of Akhenaten. Wow, look at the sun right now. It's the light codes. The Aten, right? And I feel that Akhenaten was born carrying certain bacteria with DNA within it. And his communication and irradiation by the sun is what brought his transformation at the moment of death. And I think all of his statues that you see once he started to change his name to Akhenaten has to do with the belly and the transformation, the cosmic gut, the transformation of the gut and the belly and the stomach. The thing is, I think Akhenaten used this knowledge to make himself like the gods, not for the benefit of humanity, which brought the mother of abominations, not the mother of the mighty ones. It brought abomination to his death transformation. Akhenaten was obsessed with recreating creation. For those that don't know, he changed the capital city, right? Usually the capital city of ancient Egypt was Medinet Habu, which Thebes, the Thebes area. Akhenaten changed the capital city when he changed his name, and he went to literally the middle of Egypt, which was come to, you know, he said the Aten, the solar intelligence, told him about this spot, and nobody else had ever claimed that one little area. It was literally like in the middle of Egypt. He called the umbilical cord of Egypt, right? And it was not in an area though that wasn't known to ancient Egypt. It was like literally across the way from the home of the Ogdode, all right, the home of the creation of the primordial duality from the primordial waters. The Ogdode is like the first representation of ancient Egypt creation that showed duality of a man and female. They had like these frog-like beings and these amphibious beings and reptile beings, one being male and one being female, 4 each, these 8 Ogdode, and they were the ones that rose from the primordial waters and had to do with the creation of humanity in ancient Egypt. And he literally went right to that area where it's right around where the home of the Ogdode was. He called it Akhenaten, right? I think it means the horizon of the Aten or something like that, right? And he literally every morning his chariot would usher out of the capital city with the sun rising. You know, they would carry out these grand rituals, right? And there's so much to go into about Amenhotep the third, though, his father, and his dedication to Sekhmet. Most of the statues that you see now, not many of them defaced, are from Amenhotep III's dedication to Sekhmet. The Sekhmet statues, a lot of them like a black granite or basalt, you know, really amazing Sekhmet statues that they have. And you guys can see that on my website, themysticalspiral.com. But it's from my work at what I call the healing chambers of Sekhmet here in North Salem, New York, the Balanced Rock, that I even received a deeper connection to a lot of this information. Hey, what's up, Lynn? Lynn, I did send you a package, so let me know when you get it. It's in China though, so who knows how long it's gonna take. Or I mean, you know, not China, but close. But yeah, really intense information, and it's all starting to come together. You know, this is exactly the technology that we're working with right now, you know, with having to work with vaccines and things like this. It's literally, nanotechnology is a replication of like bacterial phages carrying DNA. And it's intense when you see a lot of the ancient Egyptian symbolism. It's talking about viruses and bacterial phages and all of this. And you know, what many don't realize too, you know, Sekhmet being the goddess of healing and plagues, a lot of the statues that were associated with Sekhmet, the priests would actually pour poison around the statues. So if anybody, especially the ones that are guarding sacred temples or sacred knowledge, sacred libraries, sacred technology, statues were coated with poison around their area, statue, and vicinity. So if anybody had contact with it, it would their arms would like turn black, or they would die from poison, right? It was literally enchanted poison. And so a lot of people that were like going near Sekhmet statues were getting diseased and dying, you know. And so she became also, you know, the statues were getting defaced because of this, and people stayed away from it. You know, she was known as the goddess of plagues in many ways. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Shout out to everybody out there as well. The sunrise was amazing this morning. Let me show you guys. Can't really see it from right now, but when it was rising before, it was really amazing red. And it even, you know, the queen of the heavens, the Sekhmet, is the same energy as Sumerians and those ancient cultures were communicating with, like with and Ishtar and all of those from the Levant and those areas. Astarte, Anath, Asherah, these are the same queens of the heavens as a Sekhmet, right? All of them being these ladies that are clothed in apparel, and the ones that can bring fire down from the sky on the battlefield, the ones that can bring comet bombardments and meteors and asteroids, right? The ones connected to the solar intelligence, you know, and the stellar mysteries. And this is what Amenhotep III was dedicated to during his reign. And this is what brought Akhenaten's transformation. And unfortunately, I think Akhenaten used this knowledge for himself, like most pharaohs usually do, and not for the good of the humanity and the people. And I think this is why he turned into what I have been writing about. And I started to discuss a little bit the other day. And I really think, and you know, nobody has to believe what I'm talking about here. You could just use this as entertainment or a theory, however you want to look at it. But you know, I know from different things that come to me how my body responds to it, and whether I'm on the right track or if I'm seeing something appropriate, like if it's a reality, or if it's, you know, it's not just something I'm creating, right? I know the difference between getting a vision and receiving higher information than me just creating something, right? But the thing is, though, those two are related. Your creativity in art is related to higher information. So it's a fine line. That's why you'll see a lot of truths in comic books and art and things like that, because this is a way of expressing their psychic energy, their psychic channel. It's a way of filtering it, right? We all have psychic energy. We all have psychic abilities. We all pick up psychic energy and transmit psychic energy. And some of us have to, you know, it has to be filtered. That when you build up psychic energy and accumulate it, you know, and the word psychic has become taboo. Well, when you pick up mental energy, or when you pick up vibes, when you pick up debris, astral debris, if you want to say, from people, right? That has to be filtered out in a positive way. Otherwise, it can literally, if it gets held in and it's not filtered out, it could literally split your personality. You could become friggin' really confused, if not schizophrenic, you know, or even it can lead to, you know, not even like transvestitism, right? I don't say all of them, but a high quantity of people that are also psychic, and they didn't handle their psychic energy appropriately, and it split their personality, literally, right? So you have to filter out that psychic energy in some sort of positive way, and art being one of them, music being another one, you know, or it comes out in working as a healer or rake, you know, all these different things, you know, it has to come out in some sort of healing capacity for yourself, right? It has to be, otherwise you'll split your top, like literally, you'll split your shit will get split, you know, you'll crack your whole friggin' system. That's how it works, you know. And so I think that I got off on a little bit of a tangent with that, but like what I'm talking about with Amenhotep the third, he was. Many don't realize that he was completely dedicated to this goddess, right? The Sekhmet or Sekhem energy, and there's so much to go into with that, so much. But I've been talking about the transformation that Akhenaten had taken as well, and my viewings on that. And I really have come to find out that in the 1960s, I feel even some of the Mothman reports might be literal reports of a pharaoh transformation, that when he came, that was pulled into this dimension, literally. And I have a whole connection of dots that basically, can't prove it exactly, but it backs up some of the visions that I have gotten about it. I think that Akhenaten literally transformed into this bat-like winged creature that existed on a different earth, like an earth-like dimension, but at a higher frequency, if you want to say. It went to a higher existence than ours, if you want to call it higher. I don't know, another earth-like planet that's connected to ours, but it's that dimension is literally running on a different frequency, right? And I think that originally it got pulled into this dimension long ago, during his reign, when he passed away suddenly. I think the first time it appeared, from what I was shown, was in Mount Sumeru. Mount Sumeru is actually the ancient Mount Sumeru, which is very similar to Sumerian or Sumer, right? Is actually in the Himalayas. Mount Kailash, and that area is originally called Mount Sumeru or Mount Meru, right? Sumeru. And that area, I think that there was these bells, these sacred bells and sacred brain telepathic mantra type energies were coming that literally pulled it into that Himalayan mountains. And from there, I believe that it was locked into a cave in a stasis for many, many, many years until it was released in the 1960s. And I have a whole bunch of proof that I've been showing that's, to me, evidence to support my theory about this. Even what's interesting is that in Chicago, which has also been many reports of Mothman bat-like creatures as well, or one creature that they've seen, similar to West Virginia and Mothman. And I also think that West Virginia was related to radio telescopes attracting that creature to that area. And that's a whole nother part of it. But and the vibes of that Point Pleasant area, that was a spot where there was a chief cornstalk that was into some Nephilim type disembodied Rephaim magic and communications, and that land has a cursed energy about it anyway. That whole area, blood was spilled in that area that has a deep imprint of certain energy. So that could have led to it getting brought to that area as well. But in Chicago in the 1960s, there was literally a cult of Aten that was revived after friggin' a couple of 1,000 years of obscurity. This all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's an Orthodox church that converts its Orthodox church to the pristine Orthodox Church of Aten, right? And I think they've had their first, and they were, linked to the tax-deductible religion and all of that. Like, they were a legit religion, registered and everything. And I think their first public mass where people can come publicly, and it was held right in the storefront window in downtown Chicago. The first one was in the mid 1960s, which is just prior to a lot of the Mothman sightings in West Virginia and then Chicago later on, which is very interesting. I don't think that's a coincidence either. And they were actually forced to move out of their one location because it was like sort of a blue collar, white blue collar area, and they were forced to move their location to another location later on. But they stayed at that first location in Chicago for like the first 5 or 6 years. I have old Fate magazine articles. I have the Fate magazines from the 1960s and 1970s that were my mom's, and there's articles about this cult of Aten. This is where I'm getting this information that I'm talking about right now. There's actually articles where they're interviewing at the church. They're interviewing the people, the members of the church, the priests, right? So this was like a real organized church. They were sending out the Akhenaten, the calling of Aten, right? So this is very interesting, and I think it's directly related to the Mothman type sign. They're not Mothmen, that's just a nickname. I do think it's some sort of transformation creature, that bacterias that were carrying other DNA brought some sort of cosmic transformation with interstellar DNA from ancients. It had some sort of transformation at the moment of death. And I think that Akhenaten's body was never found, right? They have the KV-55, I think, skull, which was a tomb that was found uninscribed, unmarked, in Thebes, which is a place that Akhenaten abandoned. He wouldn't have had his corpse put there. And both him and Tutankhamun was his son, and he's known for his amazing gold sarcophagus and all this. But in fact, his mummy was treated like crap. Like his embalmment and all that. Like he was literally like gashed from the side, just cut in and ripped open. Like it wasn't done professionally like most pharaohs would be done. And the same thing with supposedly, Akhenaten. They found the KV-55 tomb, the KV-55 skull, which is where a badly decomposed skull that was missing like 3/4 of its face, and a really badly decomposed mummy, just was like basically just a little bit of a skeleton left. And then they found other items like these panels, these other items that were like taken from other places and just there. And when they did DNA checks on this, they found that it was directly related to Tutankhamun, like his inner family, right? So they were saying this could be Akhenaten, but I think it's actually Smenkhare, his brother, or someone related to that, maybe even an older brother to Tutankhamun that we don't know about, or something like this. Who knows? I do think it's from their family, if at all they're telling the truth about the DNA. If at all. You don't even know that, right? But if it is truthfully that it is the direct relation, Akhenaten, when he died suddenly, he had a brother, Smenkhare. And that brother ruled for a short period of time after Akhenaten died suddenly. And he also died very shortly. And, they had enemies, the ancient Egyptians. They have what's called the 9 bows, which were enemies of different areas. But they also were at war during their 18th dynasty, during specifically like Akhenaten's reign with the Hittites, who had Rephaim kings and rulers. Right, so I think that the Hittites were working with actual people in Akhenaten's, not royal family, but Akhenaten citizens and shit like that. Them together, I think, planned the death of Akhenaten, his brother, and even Tutankhamun later on. I think they were all taken out. And unfortunately, I think Akhenaten was he might have actually not even been murdered, but done some sort of weird ritual for himself to transform, you know. But I think that he might have been murdered as well. The same with King Tut and Smeagol, you know. I think they actually were probably most likely murdered. But yeah, I don't think they have Akhenaten's body at all. And those statues that you see of him, I don't think that's what he actually looked like either. You know, he's almost looking like he's pregnant. I think it's actually talking about his cosmic transformation. You know, the transformation that takes place within the gut. You know, adding the bacterias with the DNA in it to the gut, and it might even be ingested through the monatomic gold, through the powder. There might even be something like that. That's actually how they were ingesting it, or he was actually born with it inside of him, and then at the moment of death, he was laid out to get irradiated by the sun to transform himself. Right? Yeah, you know what? That's always been a thing with me with information. You know, like when you have a passion for something, you remember it. Right? There's certain things that I can't remember, but like when it comes to this type of stuff, yeah, that's been my passion, you know. So like I'm like it's sort of like in my DNA, you know. That's like my lineage is about preserving the stellar mysteries. Literally, like encoded within my DNA is the stellar mysteries. It's in me, you know. That's part of me is about preserving the knowledge and continuing the search for truth, you know. Not even the search for truth, unveiling it. And when you start to look up all the Sekhmet statues that we pretty much have today, most of them are connected to Akhenaten's father, Amenhotep III or Amenhotep III. So a lot of information on my website related to this. Every president, wow. I don't know if that's true, but good morning, everybody. I'm pretty sure. Oh, shout out to Zach Van. Good look. Yeah, I have the Metalheads tattoo. For sure, man. Yep. You know what? I'm anybody that I'm going to be working with my friend Castle, the Son of the Sun, the band. But if anybody else wants to work together, I'm looking to, you know, I have a lot of music that I work on and privately, which is me and my acoustic. But I don't have right now the recording setup or the equipment to do what I really want. So like I'm looking to create sort of like a mix between guitars and beats, some of it drum and bass, with vocals and some of it not vocals. Like I have like an interesting idea for a lot of music that I've had in my head for a while. So if anybody has that sort of equipment and knows how to make beats and is that sort of creator, I mean, you got to be real for real, like legit, because like, you know, I'm a professional music, like I'm a real musician. So like, it can't be just somebody that just started. Like I appreciate it, but like I need someone that knows what they're doing. And if you know how to make beats and you're creative, things like that, definitely hit me up, for sure. But shout out to Zach. I thought we would see the fox or the coyote this morning, but I haven't seen them yet. There's a few of them around here. I saw snakes around here the other day, but there's a red-tailed hawk that's my buddy too, that's always around. I actually caught, you could see on video here, on one of my videos here on YouTube, right in front of me. I was meditating and a red-tailed hawk caught a woodchuck about 5 feet in front of me. And I ended up getting out my phone and recording it. Came and snatched the woodchuck up while it was running. Crazy. See, that's like swamp back there too. Hold on, let me show you guys. That area beyond the tree line is like swamp. I don't know if you could see it from here, but it's like green swamp over there. It's a pretty crazy area, actually. The Fae Forest. That's the Fae portal right there. That tree. I've had a lot of experiences with this tree. That tree has been leaning so far for years too, and it's like the only one that hasn't fallen. There's all these trees that were leaning fell eventually. This tree has been leaning like that for like 20 years. I've seen things, little beings of light come out of that tree, and I've got them on camera before too. Crazy, right? Yeah, I have an email address. Just go to my website, themysticalspiral.com, and my email address is there all over. Contact me page it's on the contact me page for sure on themysticalspiral.com. You also could send me messages at themysticalspiralstore.com, and if you're on my Patreon, you can definitely send me private messages on there as well. Yeah, what's interesting is that there's a hole in the back of that tree that we just saw, and when the light from the sun hits that hole, you'll see like things manifest in there, like even creatures. Like I've seen actual creatures, a couple of like 2 feet tall, come out of that thing before, and even little beings of light. So it's weird. It's like the sun is connected to the tree, and like it's like when the light codes hit it, things emerge. It's pretty crazy. Can't tell you exactly how it all works, but I've definitely witnessed it firsthand and have gotten it on camera firsthand. I mean, so many amazing stones, and like this is an ancient, I mean, this has been here for so long. This is an old stone circle too, right here, look. It's weird how they had that one stone in the middle like that. It's like a cosmic egg. That shit in the middle is like the cosmic egg. But yeah, I'll be live on Leak Project tonight, and I'll actually be doing a show from my house on YouTube here later on. But I'm gonna go pick up breakfast for my girls, and I might actually be working for this place that I'm walking at right now, like helping out part-time to keep the grounds, because I'm looking for a part-time job as well. Things have been really, really tight lately. My business is not making it right now just by itself, so. But I stopped pursuing music because of certain experiences that I had, that many of you that have been, following my information and my radio shows and everything over the last, 10 years or so, they know my story. They know certain things that happened to me, and especially when I was out in Los Angeles and Long Beach. So like I only used my new, like, because I really was on a fast track. Like, it was happening quick, where people were noticing me in the Los Angeles area. People were starting to talk to me, and like I had ways to make it in the music industry. And then when certain things happened, I just ended up using music as my own personal healing filter, for myself, and for many years. And but no, I'm getting the urge again. Like I feel like that's what I would like to do for a living. Like I would like to either write music or create music. Like even with raps, I was telling Frank Castle, my friend, yesterday, like, even if I'm not the one saying it, or I'm a good writer, I could write. I've been paid before. The last time was in 2005. Like, I don't do it anymore, but I've been paid by other bands before for lyrics. Like I could prove it. Like I could show you, like it's happened before. Other bands that are actually out there right now. I don't know if they're still running, some of them, but I had written lyrics that they've used, and I've gotten paid for it before. But I stopped pursuing music, and I feel something's missing like now. So I do ultimately want to still be a songwriter and pursue that. Like, even with, like, I could write, I think, raps, but that are more like, definitely people are not coming with good lyrics nowadays. Even like Eminem is very, like, his flow is very robotic and annoying. But like, I could write intelligent things. Like, even when we were talking about Dyson spheres, I was telling Frank yesterday, like, I could write stuff like, I'm building mega structures around the sun to harvest the energy of where I'm from. Stuff like that. Like, really intelligent stuff, right? We're building Dyson spheres around the sun to harvest the energy of where we're from. That shit is dope. Things like that, and I just copyrighted it. You can't use it now because I got it on YouTube copyright. That I came up with it. Yeah, there's just, things like that. Man, imagine, the certain knowledge that we have, making it into, like, certain songs. That's what I've been doing. I've been incorporating a lot of the emotions and everything into on a deeper cosmic level. And I realized that a lot of my music that I was writing, even when I was younger, I might have been thought I was writing it about an ex-girlfriend or this or that. But when I looked at it later on, it had a deeper psychic meaning, or deeper cosmic meaning to it all, right? Yeah, I mean, shit, I was born in the call. It's the veil of Isis, the net of Neith. I was born with the umbilical cord around my neck, like they caught a Naga thief. Yeah, I could come up with it, for sure. It's the veil of Isis, the net of Neith, the cord around my neck, like they caught a Naga thief. Ha. But, I was, many years, I didn't want to get involved with the music industry, But I think I'm old enough now, and I'm wise enough now. I've got enough protection around me now, and not so many holes in my aura anymore, that's keeping me, insecurities, things like this, trauma that's keeping me locked in. All my trauma I've dealt with, pretty much. It's there's nothing holding me back anymore. So I'm ready. So if people are out there that want to collaborate, I could sing, I could rap, I could play guitar really well, and I have a lot of ideas for beats, and I have like a whole catalog of songs that I come up with stuff right on the spot. Like, I was a street musician for a couple of years, where I got paid to just come up with stuff right on the spot all the time. So I'm good with that. I'm really good with that. So if anybody's looking to work together, either online or in the New York area, definitely hit me up. And I'll be continuing the discussion about the 18th Dynasty later on, and also on Leak Project tonight. So thank you guys, and thank you for everybody that donates and helps support this channel. And check out the mysticalspiralstore.com because we got 20% off of everything. End summer 20 is the code. And I'm also giving out free crystals with every order. So not only are you getting 20% off, but you're getting free goodies. And everybody that's ever bought something from me has gotten at least one thing for free. So everybody that's bought something from me in the last year and a half at least, okay, ever since I started my new website. So check me out and spiral out.